I'm Scott Vanderplu, and this is the AE Index Podcast, episode 115.
I went down to the St. James Infirmary, found my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fast.
Thank you for joining me once more as we take all things from aeindex.org and bring them to livable audio. I don't want to push myself too much. I'm a day late today because yesterday was normally my record date is the first of the month. Yesterday was Canada Day, and I sat down in the evening to record the podcast, but I just kept hearing fireworks over and over again, interrupting. And I gave it about 20 minutes and just decided to give up. So now here we are, sunny morning of July 2nd, recording this podcast. Quite a bit that went on last month on the Index, mostly in the form of reviews and solicitations. It looks like I'm back up to my 4 reviews a month. I thought I was, going to try and keep it to 3, but here and there, trying to get things done. The Amazing Spider-Man by Steve Ditko Artist Edition came in. I had it for a few days. I thought, well, I can get this done and posted the day of its release. That would be exciting as opposed to waiting. So I did that. I did not get it early enough to do the review the Saturday before like I've been doing. And unfortunately, the George Perez's New Teen Titans Artist Edition did not come in for me yet. So I did not have that for release date. Hoping to get that soon. Sometimes, they come in early. Sometimes they come in late. Either way, the review will be on the site at some point. And a flip through on YouTube. All right, let's get right to shipping changes then. I don't have a theme topic for this month. Other than I guess I should embarrassingly say after all my talk of, not going to Baltimore again this year, I talked to some people. Scott Dunbier pushed me over the edge there with his thoughts of going to Baltimore because he's there. And change, of course, I am going to Baltimore this year. So that's exciting. Talked to some people already. Getting things planned, getting things ready. Found a great deal in a hotel. I'm hoping gas prices will be down at that point. I'm not quite sure that's the where the climate's going to take us. And some interesting guests. And again, you get con fever. I don't really get con fever, but I get the practical side of that, which is who are the guests? Is there somebody I'd like something to sketch in? Is there somebody I'd like a signature of? I see Mark Schultz is not there every year with Flesk Publications. He is there this year. He's already drawn in my Xenozoic Tales Artist Edition, so I don't need that. But I have that first hardcover collection of Portfolio, which I really enjoyed. It's the larger size. I don't quite know why Flesk is producing size and everything. So I thought maybe I'll get that signed. I have the DC manual from Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. I thought, maybe I'll get that signed. I have a couple, but I thought I'll bring 3 books max, and I'm going to try and get in that line for Walter Simonson, where I think he does 10 hedge sketches a year. So if I can get there early, we can do that. I was talking to my son; he's going to go with me as always. But if we leave at midnight, we should be able to get to the con, with lunch and everything else by noon. It doesn't open at that point, so we'll be ahead and ready. I will not be going to any other cons this year. Fan Expo was happening in Toronto, as it does every year. I don't know why. I just don't have the motivation to go to Fan Expo ever. Maybe I should look at the list. It's close to me. Maybe I don't know why that's a factor, right? The opportunity of going somewhere, doing something, being far away from home and experiencing things, eating well. All those feelings don't happen for me for Fan Expo anymore, but I think it's still the 3rd largest convention in North America after San Diego and New York. The lists, they just don't get a lot of international or even a lot of the U.S. creators I'm interested in. So maybe that's the problem. All right, there you go. Not a real topic, but a topic. Shipping changes this month. Not any that I'm aware of. The changes that happened already happened. So we don't have anything new. I mean, will Youngblood Vault Edition move again? It's already a year late. We don't know. It's hard to predict, right? We already saw the Carl Barks pencils and storyboards move. So nothing moving this month. So No shipping changes. Everything's holding tight. But as always, you can hit up the site and see a list that I update every day. I don't update on weekends because publishers don't update dates on weekends. Sometimes they do update on a Sunday night, so I do have a peek, but that's it. Right now it's stacked. It's crazy. I have there's 12 books right now listed in my upcoming books. I need to take Teen Titans off this morning because I leave it up until the day of its release, which was yesterday. So that's 11 books. And, as you're going to hear from our solicitations, we're already getting announcements and solicitations for 2027, which is just crazy. So let's dive right into that. First solicitation, Simon & Schuster, June 2026 solicitations. This went up on the site. There was a press release from Skybound. If you can go to the Skybound website, find the Act 4 page, and you can subscribe to the newsletters, and you can get that kind of information as well. All right, Beta Ray Bill by Daniel Warren Johnson, Artist Edition. Experience the raw, explosive artistry of Daniel Warren Johnson's Beta Ray Bill miniseries in deluxe, oversized Artist Edition. Daniel Warren Johnson is a modern comic superstar whose electrifying work has garnered critical and commercial success for his original creations, Dual Powerbomb, Murder Falcon, and Extremity, as well as his defining takes on iconic characters like the Transformers and Wonder Woman. Johnson remains one of the most distinctive voices in comics today, blending kinetic, high-impact artwork with visceral storytelling. His run on Beta Ray Bill brought the beloved ally to Marvel's God of Thunder back into the limelight in a whole new way. This Artist Edition will give you a one-of-a-kind look into Daniel Warren Johnson's breathtaking artwork as Beta Ray Bill breaks out from Thor's shadow in a mind-blowing spacefaring adventure. All right, it includes the entire Beta Ray Bill miniseries plus an introduction from legendary Thor writer-artist Walt Simonson. This is being released February 3rd, comic shops, and March 2nd to booksellers, because Image has a 27-day delay between comic shops and booksellers because their comic distributor, Lunar, is also their warehouser. So everything gets to Lunar, and then from Lunar it goes out to Simon & Schuster. It is 12 by 17 inches, 144 pages currently, 150 US. Now, every page of this miniseries will be available. We know this because if you go to Felix Comic Art, which is Daniel Warren Johnson's art dealer, all the scans for this miniseries are up there. He's got a little logo in the corner, but you can actually preview the pages right now. You can get a taste for what this book will look like. It's pretty amazing. Warren Johnson's art really does shine in the Artist Edition format from his Extremity signature edition that was released, right? Just his ink work really, really looks amazing. All right, next up, this was an interesting, and I already see people listening to this incorrectly, but so DC Comics September 2026 catalog had 3 books, 2 DC Work in Progress, so let's get those first, and then an Artist Edition. DC Work in Progress, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns #1. Often regarded as one of comics' greatest masterpieces, The Dark Knight Returns presented a grittier Batman emerging from retirement to protect his beloved city once again. This oversized edition, shouldn't it be oversized, consisting of original page scans from issue 1, showcases the brilliance of Frank Miller's 16-page compositions and the nuances of Klaus Janson's masterful brushstrokes. This is going to be 48 pages. It's 11 by 17. It's $14.99 US. Coming out September 16th, 2026. The following week, September 23rd, which is an odd choice. I don't know. Is there a pressing need to push these books out? Is DC's Work in Progress Watchmen #1. These are 40-plus-year-old works, but we've got to have them out 1 week apart because why? Step into the world of comics like never before with the DC Work in Progress. I don't know why that line starts this up. Get up close and personal with stunning artwork from one of comics' greatest artists, featuring the art of Watchmen #1 from Dave Gibbons. The brilliance of Gibbons' work can be seen like never before in this massive, oversized presentation with a brand new introduction by Gibbons. Don't miss your chance to own this incredible, one-of-a-kind piece of comics history. As you no doubt noticed, it does not mention original art or scans or anything like that, or compositions or anything. As far as I know, the complete Watchmen #1 is not available. We saw the Watchmen Artifact Edition, which had a few pages from #1, but not enough. So I think this will fall into the line of the black and white style book. It's $14.99 US. Actually, I'm doing the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow review right now. It's going to be up later today. And that's what I said. You can't look at these Work in Progress books without seeing the $14.99 price tag and taking that into account. The $14.99 is a ridiculously low amount of money for what you're getting. If you're going to get the scans of Dark Knight Returns #1, right, $15. That's an incredible value for 40 pages. But here we got 40 pages, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I think it's just going to be black and white art from Watchmen. Having said that, I will get one in for myself probably at the store. If I don't like the look of it, I'll put it out for sale. We'll see how it goes. All right. And then the big news from DC this month. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez's DC Classics Artist Edition. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, the maestro of comic art, is at long last featured in an artist edition. In a career at DC Comics spanning 6 decades, Garcia Lopez has drawn nearly every character in the publishing company's illustrious pantheon. His DC Comics style guide, that's what it's called, not a manual. That's what I'm going to bring to Baltimore. Literally wrote the book on how these heroes are portrayed. Included herein are 7 complete stories, Batman, Jonah Hex, Cinder Nash, and others, as well as numerous wonderful pages and covers, many inked by the artist himself. Fine vintage examples of DC Comics Presents, Deadman, Jonah Hex, and DC Comics Style Guide are featured. If you are a fan of Garcia Lopez, this is the book for you. This artist edition was curated and compiled by Scott Dunbier, the originator of the format. Each page was scanned for original art in high resolution and is printed at full size. These books are massive. The art has been scanned in full color to ensure all the subtle nuances are shown, blue pencil notations, ink gradients, corrections, all allowing the reader to experience the art as never before. The only better way to view this art would be if you were holding the originals in your hands. So this is being released from DC Comics on March 23rd, 2027. It is 12 by 17 inches, 240 pages. It's a hardcover, $150 US. This is only available through DC Comics, so that means it is available through Lunar and Universal in North America. I don't know. I think it's Lunar in Europe as well. This will not, as far as I can tell, this is not available from any bookseller. So even though DC Comics books are carried by Penguin Random House worldwide, that's where my store gets them from. It's a better discount, and we pay we get free shipping from Penguin Random House. This book is only going to be distributed through Lunar and Universal. It is through DC Comics. This is not being distributed by Act 4 Publishing. This is not being available through Image Comics. I'm already seeing mistakes like that online. Don't believe that kind of nonsense, right? And as far as I can tell, there's only one cover. Now oh my goodness, they've stated not final cover twice in the catalog because it is not good. It looks like DC wanted to downplay Artist Edition as much as possible on the cover and emphasize I don't know what. It's not great, but I'm assuming the scans and the book is put together as it says, curated by Scott Dunbier. I assume he's done all the work. And I'm guessing he will have one of his designers put it together, but maybe DC has also got a designer's hand in there because the work I'm seeing on the cover is not what we are expected to, what we expect and what we've received from Act 4 Publishing. So I'm thinking DC's stirring the pot a little bit there. All right. That is pretty exciting. I got to say that book looks great, and it's interesting to see Scott Dunbier producing books not just for himself, but for DC Comics. We got Lunar, the 2026 catalog, which they call Next Phase. And the reason I'm saying just Lunar because we have 2 books from other publishers. I don't know if these are both AE adjacent. It's a tough call. This has been previously mentioned and solicited in the Fantagraphics catalog, but that is Carl Barks, Pencils and Storyboards, King Scrooge, The First and Other Stories, the Fantagraphics Studio Edition. That's correct. There are 2 colons in this title. I'm not going to read you the blurb because it's too big, but let me just, actually, I think we talked about it before. I don't want to get too much into this thing, but yeah, so this book includes King Scrooge the First, the last Uncle Scrooge story Barks wrote, one of his best, as well as Pawns of the Loup-Garou and many others. The pages are reproduced from high-resolution scans and printed at the actual size they were drawn. But these are preliminary pencils from Barks, much like the Hal Foster sketchbooks that Fantagraphics is producing. Now, this book is 11.2 inches by 14.3 inches. It's 160 pages. It's $100 US. It's a good price, especially if you're a Carl Barks fan. Now, that cover image we had before, that was a preliminary. They've redone it. It looks fantastic. Fantagraphics always has amazing designers working on that. And, This is out September 15th, so that date pushed a little bit last month. This is not a real push this month. So I'm really excited about it. They have another one announced that I did not solicit on the site because it's just black and white scans. It is a Fantagraphics Studio Edition. It's in their catalog, but it is not producing original art scans. There will be some, as back matter, there will be some original art, but I am not spending that kind of money for a book of black and white pages. And then just, that's sort of like buying an omnibus because they include 20 pages of original art at the back. That's not what I do. All right, second book from Lunar, Alex Raymond, The Power of the Image. So this book was previously solicited, was supposed to be out in May, then it was June, then it was canceled. Now it's resolicited, got a new cover. This hardcover magnum opus, which chronicles the career of Raymond, the definitive action artist, provides over 400 examples of his original art. And it includes, what does it say? Oh, it's the new monograph differs from the 2015 book offered by Hermes Press, now out of print, as it offers hundreds of new images scanned from the originals. I previously reviewed this book. It's on the site. Go to AE-Index. You can see the original. I don't know what hundreds of new images is. That's not hundreds of new pages. So I don't know how they're putting the images on the page. This book, the previous book, suffered from using scans from websites and not getting high resolution, high DPI images for the book. But overall, it was a great book and the best book I had seen of collecting Alex Raymond original art. So I have this book on order. When it comes, I will review it for sure. One more catalog. This is crazy. We got 2080 June 2026 solicitations. The 2080 art of Dave Gibbons Apex Edition. The latest in Rebellion's Apex Edition, oversized hardcover art books series will feature early work from one of Britain's most distinctive comic artists, known the world over thanks to his partnership with Alan Moore on the groundbreaking series Watchmen. All right. Due for publication on 11th November 2026, which means that's publication in the UK. I don't expect it to be in the North American market for that date. The 2080 art of Dave Gibbons Apex Edition, I got the colon back in there, will give readers a unique insight into the pivotal moment in Gibbons' career, from establishing himself as a definitive artist on future sports strip Harlem Heroes and revamping the archetypal British comic character Dan Dare, to co-creating the genetically modified sci-fi warrior Rogue Trooper, the subject of a forthcoming movie written and directed by Duncan Jones. I don't understand if we're giving readers insight into this pivotal moment in Gibbons' career, and then they mention 3 different things he made at different times. Anyway, lovingly put together by Rebellion's experienced repro graphics and editorial teams. I love that term, repro graphics. This new 128-page collection will present Gibbons' work at its true size. All pages will be newly scanned at high resolution from the original artwork, giving readers an unprecedented up-close look at the work of a comics master. Measuring 481 millimeters by 371 millimeters. That is 14.5 inches by 19 inches, for those wondering. This Apex Edition will feature work from Gibbons' run on Harlem Heroes and Dan Dare, alongside pages from Robot Rescue series Robusters. It's an archic successor, ABC Warriors, Judge Dredd, and Rogue Trooper. It will also include many pages from his first collaborations, 2080, with writer Alan Moore, including the time travel short story Chronocops. Following their work on 2080, the pair would go on, who cares? All right, that's the solicitation. As always, there is a slipcased edition available direct from 2080. There is a numbered tip-in sheet, numbered to 400, but it will not be signed. So interestingly, they are not releasing a signed numbered edition, just numbered. All right. So this book is $131.99 solicited at. I'm going to guess when it hits North America in December, it's going to be $140. We will see it in the Luna catalog soon-ish, maybe September. The slipcased edition is $171.99 US, available only from 2080 website. All right, that's the solicitations for this month. We got 4 reviews. We're 19 minutes into the podcast. I don't know what's going on. I'm babbling too much. Something's happening. Before I get into that, 3 ways to support the site, which I always appreciate. First one is Patreon. I realize I don't do a lot of exclusive things for Patreon, and really the Patreon is a way to say thank you for what I do at AE-Index and to help me pay for future books to buy, to review. That's what all the money is for, right? That's what it goes for. Another way to do that is to buy a book from my store. There's not many left. I have a couple copies of the Goon Artist Edition. I have the Romita newspaper strips. I have a Neil Adams. I think there's something else. The Frank Miller Artifact Edition, if you want the first print. Yeah, it's very, very limited. I will be having on the store, I'm still debating. I have extra copies of a lot of things coming that were Kickstarted, so watch the space for that. I, of course, will mention that in my reviews and give people a first opportunity there. And the last way to support the site is I use the affiliate links. Isn't that funny? So that's where most of my money comes from. That's really bad to forget that. Anytime you see a link for eBay or Amazon, I get a percentage of those. And if you see a link for Walt's Comic Shop, please go through there if you're in Europe. Walt is an advertiser on the site, and I greatly appreciate his advertising on my newsletter. And I have links to all the books that he has available all over the site. So those are the 3 ways. Thank you. That's short and sweet this month. 4 reviews this month. 2 shorter, 2 longer. All right, so the first one I did was Ditko Unleashed, an American Hero. Let me give you the blurb on this. Steve Ditko's astounding career is presented here from the early 1950s to the present. Examples of his work for Charlton, Warren, Marvel, and DC are shown both as printed pages and scans from Ditko's beautiful original art. This is a museum catalog that will accompany a massive exhibition of this hugely influential artist's work. Ditko co-created Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, in the fall of 2016. By the same Eisner Award-nominated team who have created the gold standard for museum catalogs and exhibits of classic comic artists. Previous books in the series included Woodwork, Wallace Wood, Flesh and Steel, The Art of Russ Heath, and Big John Buscema, Comics and Drawings. All right, this came out December 20th, 2016. It was from IDW. It is 368 pages. It's a 10 by 13 hardcover. It was $60. The only way to get this now is on eBay. And it is very much a great catalog, and like those other 3 that were mentioned, a beautiful look at Steve Ditko's work. As many, many things in my home, this is an AE adjacent book that I had on a shelf, right, in a box somewhere, that I kept meaning to get to for the site and just never got to. And then because I knew the Amazing Spider-Man David Ditko Artist Edition was coming out, I thought, I need to get to this. Give people a taste, let them see some other work. If they're really, if they really like the Ditko Artist Edition, which, it was hard not to, then maybe they want to explore this other things, because this really covers a lot of his other work. There's the first piece of artwork you see in this, in the book is this out of this world cover. It's just Ditko. I love 50s Ditko. I love Ditko working on science fiction, that kind of thing. I love his hand placements and some of his movement. It's very exciting. There's a few original stories in this book. We actually get the full, because it's in the Library of Congress. I feel like everywhere you see a book of Ditko original art or a book about Ditko, they managed to get in the scans of Amazing Fantasy 15, which is fine. Those are in here as well as, like I said, there's a few complete stories. That's the only complete Spider-Man story in this book, but it's a wonderful overview of Ditko's career. We get to see a lot of great pages, and the text is also very good. So it's in English and Spanish, like all the other catalogs, and it's just not a vanilla writing. It's a well done piece about Ditko through his periods of his life. It's well researched. It's opinionated. There's no question. But isn't that what we actually are looking for? We're looking for tastemakers, right? We're looking for people who give opinions, who form, who want to present something like that. A couple things about the book are awesome. Because Ditko, this is so Ditko. There's a white bookmark and a black bookmark. Silk ribbons, awesome. The scans look great. Who doesn't wish the book was bigger and all these scans were larger? But really, really great. The Warren stuff with the wash looks so amazing in black and white, especially the original art pages. I really feel like we've missed out by not having enough Warren material in any sort of AE format, because it's almost nothing, right? We've got so little. How do we get that, right? How can we pursue that Warren material? Amazing book. I know I'm being brief here, but go to the site, check the scans. I don't think I did a flip through this book because it's just so massive. I just did not want to. I did a flip through. Wow. Okay. I've already forgotten. Amazing. take a look. It's an amazing book. Let me just hit up eBay here for a second because I got the link to eBay. So please use my eBay link if you're gonna have a look. Nothing available right now. Oh no, somebody's got it up for $200 US in the UK. Oof, that hurts. Yeah. So nothing else. We can just watch. You can get it. If you put up save searches on eBay and you wait and you be patient, you can get things for good deals. All right, second book this month. This was a topic on the forum, and I felt like, oh, wait a second. Don't I have that book? Sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. But I mean, I'm putting out 3 to 4 reviews a month. I don't know how I can get to this material any faster. Hellboy and BPRD, La Nuit du Cyclope, version originale. Limited to 300 copies, an essential album in its French premiere, printed with HUV inks. The color rendering is fabulous. Olivier Vatine, a 104-page album, 28 by 40 centimeter format, numbered and signed by Olivier Vatine. The complete story in color and reproductions of original artwork. An impressive color sketchbook featuring numerous sketches and illustrations. A joint interview with Mignola and Olivier Vatine. A silkscreen bookplate. 5 colors, produced by Experience and signed by Olivier Vatine. An original behind-the-scenes look at the making of this album, showing the different creative phases. The book is presented in an elegant slipcase. An exclusive and collectible bonus for website buyers will be included in the package. You got a second print if you bought it direct from Edition Black and White, which is what I did. Hardcover with a matte varnish finish, scratch-resistant, rounded black cloth spine with hot foil stamping of the title, head and tail bands. Printed on premium 170-gram Munkin paper. Shipped in custom cardboard packaging. Parcels are heavily reinforced. This was released March 24th, 2023. It's 11 by 15 and 3/4 inches, 104 pages. It's a slipcase hardcover. It's €230. It's a lot of money. So let me just get right to the chase here. This is a 22-page comic that we get as analyzed and as presented in as many ways as possible. If you like Olivier Vatine, if you like Hellboy, if you want to see the nuts and bolts of going completely through the story, this is the way to do it. So the book opens. It's numbered and signed. So we get a signature plate, and then we get the numbering stamped on the colophon, and then we get the entire comic, right? Night of the Cyclops in French, beautiful colors. That's what they're saying. The HUV inks, right? And then we get an interview with Mignola, and we get some original artwork in there. And then we get Vatine and his preliminaries, his sketchbook, his character designs. And also in that then there's the interview with Vatine where questions are asked about the artwork. And it's a really intriguing way of presenting the art. So yes, we get every page of original art, but before we get that page, we get a precursor to the page. And in that we get Vatine's thumbnail sketches. And then Vatine does like a 2-color, like a red and burgundy preliminary on this sort of craft paper. And then we get other pencils and other like quick sketches, and then the interviews on that text. So all that material is on one page. Excuse me. And then the full artwork, full size, is beside it or after it, if it's a 2-page spread. And his pencils are amazing. You know, the ink pages are great. What's really intriguing is the text is on the original artwork, very, very light, not interfering. So it's a different approach than what we've seen before. When digital lettering has been added to artwork, right? Normally there's some opacity to it. So it's clouded enough so we can see the text easily, but we can still see some of the art. Here, the text is very faint, with the artwork being the focus. But I have to say, you know, you look at this book, and Vatine's work, whatever he did on that in this sketchbook, or this, like I said, it looks like craft paper almost, with the whites and the blacks and the burgundy. That is amazing. That really could have been its own book. It's so gorgeous. And then to follow along every page, asking questions about Vatine, showing his entire process, getting to the work, is just stunning. And then we finish the story. That wraps up. And then we actually get to Vateen's preliminary work and build up for this volume, because he's produced a new cover, he's produced artwork for the slipcase, and we see how we got to that as well. Like, there's no step missing in this book if we want to fully encompass everything about Vateen, Hellboy Knight of the Cyclops, and then actually packaging Hellboy Knight of the Cyclops. Like, it is so amazing to see this incredible work. And then, like I said, it's a gorgeous print. But we also, the print, I would actually like the print that's included as a bonus from Edition Black and White. It's also signed by Vateen. It's not numbered, though. And it's Hellboy with a sea creature, like an octopus. You can see it on my site. It's crazy expensive. 230 euros. This is sold out, by the way, at Edition Black and White. No, it's still available there. Sorry, it's sold out elsewhere. Other retailers had it for sale. Those are sold out. There was a limited edition where Vateen's sketched on the cover. Those are sold out. But you can still get this from the Black and White website. If you are a fan, it's well worth considering. Could they have cut some costs somewhere? Could they have dropped the print? Yes. Dropped the second print, maybe. Dropped the slipcase, I guess. But then, right, what could that have saved? What, I don't know, 30 euros, 50 euros? The book it's an entire unit. It's so well presented and packaged that this is the amazing quality that we're getting. This is a thing of beauty. And I accept that and paid it and bought it, right? I do find that if I can get the material in just a standard version, no signature, no slipcase, saving money, because then you do get the same contents. I've been going that route. There's absolutely no question about that. I have very few signed and numbered slipcased books. I have both Mazzucchelli artist editions from IDW. I've got the Romita remarked. I've got 2 copies of the Romita remarked Amazing Spider-Man. I've got the Bone slipcase because I got it cheap on Facebook Marketplace. That's about it. Otherwise, yeah. All right, moving on. The Amazing Spider-Man by Steve Ditko, Artist Edition. The very first appearance of Spider-Man to some of his most memorable moments, like no one has seen before, from world-renowned co-creator Steve Ditko. This Artist Edition features the web-slinger's very first appearance in Amazing Fantasy 15, as well as 3 more incredible complete stories. The Amazing Spider-Man 20, 26, and 33, the latter of which is regarded by many as the apex of Ditko's finest on Spider-Man. Also included are scanned photocopies of Steve Ditko's rarely seen Amazing Spider-Man 31 pencil art, scanned art for more than 20 other issues, and more. All right, this came out June 24th from Act Publishing, distributed by Image. 15 by 22 inches, 192 pages. It's a hardcover. It is $195. There was as always with Act 4, there was a direct cover A. It's cover B, which is the direct market. And then their Waltz Comic Shop had an exclusive cover. So there's only 3 covers in the book. So there wasn't a lot of choice there to pick which covers to include here. But those are available. Let's talk about the design first, actually. So we got Randy Dahlk, Retro Randy, which doesn't go by that anymore. Always says Randall Dahlk in the credits. So maybe I shouldn't say Randy. Just a very interesting approach. So he's taken, he's used this sort of burgundy from the cover, and that gold, yellow. I'm not great at identifying colors. I apologize. And then he's carried that through. So those 2 colors, primarily working on the chapter dividers, any sort of enlargements. Those are the colors that appear. They look great. And then the colophon is so interesting. It's like a pasteboard. He's got tape there. He's got little cut up, and they're uneven pieces, and they're just put up. I really like that approach. And table of contents, great. I was looking at it, thinking that the dashes or the lines, right, going from the title to the page number really helps you visually move across and identify. Page numbers included, as always, with Act 4. No page numbers in the book. So it's more of a guided, I look at the table of contents and know that the book includes 192 pages, but otherwise the page numbers don't do a lot for me. It's nice to see. We can immediately spot the 3 complete issues, and then, of course, Amazing Fantasy is the complete story. So in the review, I said there's 4 complete stories, right? Because That's the way it is. We get a introduction by Marcus Ditko, which, it's nice for him. It doesn't do much for the reader of this book. There are 2 quotes from Ditko that are very good and do speak directly to the book, which I appreciate. There's some family photos with Steve Ditko in them. It's a nice touch. Again, Dalks worked in the tape there and the scrapbooky look. It's nice. And then he's taken a different approach with the chapter dividers, where he's played on the issue and the issue cover, but not really because the covers aren't there. It's an interesting look. I like it. And then the artwork the scans are great. I only had an issue with a couple of pages, and that was because I don't know what. I think there's something weird about the bottom of Spider-Man 13. Just something happening, and it's not the scans. I think it's the artwork. But Ditko's art is so interesting to see. And it's funny because I'm so taken with Betty Brant and J. Jonah Jameson in this book. Just the details and the facial expressions are amazing, and I love the look of it. But then I get to something like the Scorpion, and I think that there's something so odd about the design. The look is just weird. I don't know how else to describe it. And then Ditko's, he really decides what's important in the panel. Many, many panels, he does not include backgrounds, right? He's just focusing on the characters, looking at the size, looking at what's needed, and including only that. Oh, excuse me. It's so amazing to see. It's just gorgeous. And I mentioned in the review, but my favorite cover of Ditko's is Amazing Spider-Man 26. And it's all about the gas that, was it Master Criminal or Criminal? I can't even remember the Mass Marauder. I know I'm slaughtering the guy's name, but I can't remember his name. But this got this gas, and the Ditko draws the gas. It's like a creature, like it's got tentacles enveloping, and I just love the way it's presented on the cover, and it's just also presented so well in the book. It just looks amazing, and it's just simple lines, but just that's what really, really spoke to me. And then Green Goblin's eyes, the detail is amazing, like the way I guess they are eyelashes, but then the way he draws it could be the material around the eyes. It looks great. And of course, like I said, J. Jonah Jameson. There's one panel in particular. We got Peter Parker trying to sew something. He's trying to thread a needle. It's just like those simple panels that just are so well done and so well executed. It's just gorgeous. And then we get to these photocopies, which present very well. Apparently, they were possibly photocopied by Marie Severin, and we were able to see the penciled photocopies at full size. So they were photocopies at full size original art, and then they're presented to the inked pages, and you can see the subtle differences. Ditko's pencils really tight, and then just what he adds in the inks, just an excellent book overall. I mean, if I'm picking one single panel that overall is amazing to me in this work, it is Spider-Man issue 33, page 23. There's Betty Brant. There's these lines around her. She's making this face. I'm telling you, I don't know why. Ditko's presentation of these faces, these emotions, it's just so well done in this book. All right, that's you've got to go, as with every review, go to the site, see the pages, right? Look at all my images, read my blah blah blahs in between. I don't go on that much about it, and then look at the flip through. Right, I'm flipping through the entire copy. All right, one more review this month. This is just this is Murena, tome 10. I'm just going to say 10 Edition Unique. So because I'm discovering that French publishers put out pencil versions of books, the Crayoni. I've been searching for those lately, and I discovered that starting with this volume 10, that the artist Theo, that's his first name as far as I know, it's Theo Kaneshi. His notebooks / pencils, I don't know how to describe them, have been collected for volumes 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The 2 I was able to order. I was able to order 10 from Indigo in Canada, or Amazon had it briefly, Canada. I don't think you're going to see these on Amazon US, but I put links up for booksellers.ca, which is the Canadian Canadian independent website of independent French booksellers, which I'm always recommending. They're wonderful. And BD Fugue, if you're in Europe as well, you can look on Amazon for these Amazon European sites. I guess I should add the link to that as well. But if you're in North America, I would use booksellers.ca. So it's a hardcover. Let me give you the blurb. Actually, the blurb says nothing about the content. It's a collector's edition in black and white and numbered, which I thought was interesting. So on the cover, there's a sticker. Édition unique at numéroté, tirage limité. So it's edition unique, which I guess they're going with instead of, I would have done édition crayonnée, but because it's also numbered, maybe? I don't know. So this is released by Dargaud on November 3rd, 2017. The latest volume is not out yet. I'm actually waiting for that to ship. So I picked the first and the last just to compare and contrast there. Unfortunately, my copy came with a ding out of the spine. I'm actually debating about whether I've already asked them for a replacement. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get me one. This is 9 inches by 11 3/4 inches, 56 pages. It's a hardcover. It's €17.95, which if you are getting it from the Canadian booksellers, that's $31.95. That seems to be the standard price across Canada for this book. And what do we get? We get a gorgeous hardcover. We open it up right on it's interesting. They don't like to waste a lot of space. I haven't seen this before where the stamp number is on the title page. Normally it's on the colophon. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. Then we get the colophon, and the colophon's taken up by an introduction by Theo, because he's taking over the series of Marina. And then we get the interior artwork, and it's very interestingly done because tightly in the center, maybe using 25% of the page, is a very detailed pencil of what the finished page artwork will look like. Excuse me. And then surrounding all those pages are character designs. How we fleshed out what was gonna look. So what we're really getting here, it looks like Theo's sketchbook, where he works out the pages, what they look like. He works out characters. There's pencils. There's very detailed, tight work. Light pencils, dark pencils. I don't think we don't get to any inks. I don't believe he switches up the pencil though. And like I said, very brief. This book, 56 pages. $31.95 for this material is not outrageous, that's for sure. Now, what I would have liked to see, of course, is something bigger, or why does he work with the pencils so small of the full pages when we'd actually like to see the full pages? But the character designs are just so engaging and really just look amazing. So it's a stamped, numbered edition of 3,500 copies. I mean, I'm buying this from a Canadian distributor 9 years later, and my copy is 188. So I don't know. Now this appears to be sold in Europe, so maybe these early copies, maybe North America is the way to go with this. I'm seeing increased pricing in Europe for this book, say from things like BD Fugue, which sells new and used books. Flip throughs on the site. It's a really great look. Another opportunity to look at an artist in a different way. I don't know why the North American market doesn't support something like this, or we're not able to produce something like this, but I wish we were able to. But that's okay, because there are no words needed here. It's just strictly artwork. So if you get a chance, go to the site, check the review, watch the flip through. All right, that's all I have this month. Thanks for listening to me. I'm thankful I was able to get this recorded without fireworks on July 2nd. Next July is an exciting month. My goodness, I can't even begin to describe how great it's going to be, especially when we have books. I think you know what? Let's go to the index for a second. Let's not butcher things. I'm expecting my copy of Teen Titans Artist Edition any day, so I'm going to be reviewing that this month. We're also going to see ElfQuest Hidden Years on the 14th. We're going to see Charlie's War by Joe Colquhoun, the Apex Edition, on the 22nd. We're going to see Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Artist Edition, on the 28th. July has 4 AE format books. That is insane. Plus, I've got some other reviews coming. So, I'm DC Work in Progress. Like I said, that's going to go up today. So, watch some other reviews. I may actually have more than 5 reviews this month. And I almost forgot, which is terrible. Go to the Act 4 Publishing website and sign up for the newsletter. The reason you want to do that is because there is a slipcased, signed and numbered George Perez's Teen Titans Artist Edition, only available through Act 4 Publishing, so it's exclusive like they were doing before with when Scott was at IDW. Limited, and it's going to be available only through their website. And if you want to know when it drops, what time to be aware of, and to get a newsletter of what's these kind of exclusives, then you want to go today and sign up at Act 4 Publishing for the newsletter. Don't miss that. All right, thanks, and we'll talk again next month.
Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can search this wide world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me.